Welcome to the Week 3 video review. Compared to last week, where most of the plays focused along the line of scrimmage, this week's clips will focus on Rule 9. Our first clip focuses on blocking below the waist. Remember that a player that is not a lineman inside the tackle box at the snap is allowed to legally block below the waist, but such a block must be initiated from the front, meaning the 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock region on a player. In this play, we should have a flag for an illegal block below the waist, as the back out of the backfield commits a low block that is not between the 10 to 2 region. As a crew, it's important that when officiating run plays, we are not focused on the ball carrier, but we are also seeing blocks ahead of the runner. This is especially important for deep judges. Once we read run and our keys are no longer threatened, we need to transition our eyes to blocks ahead of the runner to be able to help officiate these plays. This week we have a couple more blindside block plays. However, instead of focusing on the rule, I'd like us to focus on situations in which we are likely to have these types of blocks. This first clip is a free kick in which we have a member of the receiving team come back against the grain and deliver one of these types of blocks against a kicking team player. Anytime we have players running back against the grain, we must be aware of those players and we must have a heightened sense of awareness. Do not take your eyes off of those players. That's how we miss these types of fouls. Here we have another instance, a scrimmage kick, in which the flow of players starts to move one direction and the player who gives the blindside block continues on his same path and speed. This is a dead giveaway that we might have a suspect block, and we need to keep our eyes on this player. We all know that the blocks on the corners as the return man tries to cut upfield are difficult enough, and incorporating the blindside block gives us one more thing to think about. Here we have an excellent job of officiating upfield and off ball by the short wing, who helps us get this play correct. Remember, anytime we have a change of possession or players going against the grain, we must have a heightened sense of awareness and be alert to these blindside blocks. In this next play, we get another example of nice officiating upfield and off ball. Here we have a face mask by an offensive player who delivers a block. It's a little unusual, but if we're staring at the ball carrier, it won't be possible for us to get this play correct. The umpire does a nice job of officiating the block and entrusting that the short wing can keep eyes on the ball carrier. In this next play, we have an illustration of Rule 9-1-14, contact against the snapper. By rule, when a team is in scrimmage kick formation, a defensive player may not initiate contact with the snapper until 1 second has elapsed after the snap. In this play, we want to be more patient with the flag. Yes, the snapper is contacted quickly after the snap, but he does have a chance to defend himself. And because both players maintain contact and wrestle each other to the ground, we don't have any safety concern or advantage gained on this play. Here we have a punt play with contact against a returner that appears to meet all of the requirements for targeting and making forcible contact with the crown of the helmet. Let's talk about the mechanics of calling targeting, since at our level we do not have video review of these types of plays immediately following the action. Anytime we think we have a targeting, we should err on the side of safety and put a flag on the field. This allows us to slow down and talk about the foul to determine whether or not we do in fact have a foul. When discussing the call, if there is uncertainty from the calling official and nobody else on the crew can confirm that there was a target, we can pick up the flag. However, if the calling official is confident and we have another set of eyes that's able to confirm the call, we can stick with the targeting. Ultimately, the decision will be at the discretion of the referee. However, keep in mind that if we do not have a flag on the field for these types of plays, we cannot initiate our on-field review to make sure we get the call right. Remember, slow down, process, communicate, and get it right. Here we get a nice job of officiating live ball action that changes into dead ball unsportsmanlike action. In the middle of the play, you see two players wrestling during the play, and even after the ball becomes dead, they continue in their skirmish. We do a nice job here of showing stripes and being present in order to shut down the action as quickly as we can. Now remember that by rule, we could have a personal foul for the live ball action for the two players contacting an opponent out of the play in general unnecessary roughness. However, when this contact continues through the dead ball, we can escalate this to an unsportsmanlike foul for dead ball contacts such as pushing, shoving, striking, etc. that occurs clearly after the ball is dead and is not part of the game action. Consistent with our theme for this week, nice job of officiating upfield and off ball. This next play illustrates a nice job of crew communication to get a penalty enforcement that could be potentially tricky correct. Here we have a hold against an eligible receiver beyond the line of scrimmage, as well as a late hit out of bounds by the defense. In this play, both fouls are against the defense. Because we have a live ball followed by a dead ball foul, we know that both fouls can be enforced. Additionally, because we're within our range, both fouls will be half the distance to the goal. Finally, remember that the hold by the defense does not carry an automatic first down because we do not have a legal forward pass that crosses the neutral zone. However, the late hit out of bounds as a personal foul does carry an automatic first down. So regardless, the offense will retain possession of the ball and it will be first and goal. That's all for the Week 3 video review. Go out, have a great Week 4, continue to officiate players running against the grain, upfield and off ball.